Follow us today to a 2009 science fiction film called Cargo. Before we start, be aware, there are spoilers. Our story starts with a woman walking through a field. It's actually an advertisement on a billboard in space for Rhea, which is a place where everything is beautiful and life is wonderful. We see an incredibly large revolving space station, which is in fact made up of a number of cities, which hold most of the world's remaining population. The Earth has become uninhabitable. A woman named Laura Portman is waiting in a departure cafe to board a cargo spaceship. She is a doctor who will be on a 4-year trip to Proxima and a 4-year return trip. Most of that time will be spent in cryo-sleep. After this trip, she will have enough money to move to Rhea and join her sister. Once on board the cargo ship called Cassandra, she is met by the first officer named Anna. Captain Pierre introduces Laura to the rest of the crew, Yoshida, Vespucci, and Prokov. The captain tells them that because of the recent terrorist attacks, there is a government-assigned security officer on board as well. Anna comes with a security officer named Samuel Decker. He shows them a video about the terrorist organization and their leader, Klaus Brugner. The crew then enters cryosleep. 3 years and 8 months later, we see that Laura is awakened and her sister, Ariane, is sending her a video message from Rhea. Laura spends all of her time alone while everyone else is in cryosleep. Now, we see Laura investigating a noise that she heard in the cargo bay area. She sees something through the door and runs back to the crew area when Decker suddenly appears. He tells her he was alerted and woken up when someone activated the cargo area. She tells him that something is in the cargo airlock, but she wants to wake the crew. He tells her the crew has to stay in cryosleep, so she goes to wake the captain because of the situation. Laura, Decker, and Pierre go to the cargo bay where Pierre checks the controls and finds that the cargo hold was opened several times during the shift. They put on protective clothing and enter the cargo hold. They split up to check all the different areas of the hold. Suddenly, Laura sees Pierre fall from above. She calls Decker and tells him that she saw Pierre fall. They both go down to Pierre, but he doesn't seem to be alive. Then they hear the alarm for a large gate to close. Decker carries Pierre and they just make it through before the gate closes. Laura performs CPR, but it looks like Pierre is dead. Now, the rest of the crew is awake. Anna takes command of the ship and she gives everyone their orders. Laura inspects Pierre's body for the cause of death. She finds multiple rib fractures and head trauma supposedly from the fall. Then she finds an artificial implant in his head, an artificial eye. She removes the eye, which has a recording device inside. Laura and Decker play back the recording and find that a container was open, and inside was a biohazard label. The ship is supposed to be carrying only construction materials. Yoshida is checking the ship's computer equipment while Vespucci and Prokov are trying to repair the gate. Laura and Decker go to find the container with the biohazard label. When they enter the container, they find a tank with a young girl inside. Decker calls Vespucci and Prokov to help them carry the tank back to the gate. As they're making their way back, the containers start to relocate and Laura is left clutching to a ladder. Decker reaches down and pulls her to safety. They bring the tank to the medical facility and Anna comes in to see what's happening. Laura tells her the containers are full of humans. Anna says the cargo is the shipping company's business. Laura tells her the containers moved and almost killed them. Anna tells her the containers are automatically moved as part of the process. Laura tells her someone has killed Pierre and almost killed them as well. Laura then says she is the doctor and she will inspect the child in the tank. Decker says that he must investigate any incident on the ship. Anna is not happy about it and says she will be making a report about their action. Laura tries to scan the girl's body in the tank, but it's not working. She has to get the tank open, but it has an electronic lock. Now, we see Yoshida scanning the computer files. Anna tells her to find anything she can on Decker. Anna doesn't trust him. Laura is with Decker at the tank. He tells her he will try to decrypt the locking mechanism, but it could take some time. While they wait, they talk about Rhea. They hear a signal that the decryption has finished and unlocked the tank. Just then, Decker reaches over and kisses Laura, which takes her by surprise. We see Laura and Decker removing the lid of the tank to see a young girl inside, seemingly in a sleep state. When Laura scans the girl's head, she finds some inorganic material in the brain, connected to the spine. The girl has a virtual reality connector in her body. Decker wants to connect her to an external source, but Laura won't risk causing brain damage to the child. Laura sends another message to her sister and tells her about the girl. Within a short space of time, Laura gets a message back from her sister. She's very surprised because the messages usually take months or years to travel each way. She talks to Decker about it and asks him who he really is, but when he doesn't reply, she turns to walk away. There's an announcement for everyone to meet on the bridge. Anna tells everyone that a crew member has manipulated the cryo chamber log files. She accuses Decker and he admits that he has been checking the ship periodically as part of his procedures. Anna tries to arrest him, but there's a scuffle with weapons. Then Yoshida grabs him from behind. Anna wants the girl returned to the cargo chamber as soon as possible, and Decker to be placed in cryosleep as soon as Laura has attended to his injuries. Before Vespucci and Prokov come to take Decker, Decker tells Laura that they're not going to Station 42. They're going to Rhea. Decker is then placed into a cryosleep tank. Laura asks Yoshida to check and make sure that they're going to Station 42. Now, we see Laura talking to Yoshida, who tells Laura they are not going to Station 42. The destination coordinates have to be set prior to departure. Therefore, Decker could not have changed the coordinates. They think Anna has been lying to them. Vespucci comes in and asks them to come to the squad room for a party, but Yoshida leaves the room. Laura is having a drink with Vespucci and Prokov, but she takes a cup of tea to Yoshida. She finds that Yoshida has been murdered. Then, they find that Decker is no longer in cryosleep. They go to search for Decker. Vespucci and Laura find an open vent, so they go in to look for Decker. Laura finds lots of rubbish inside, which looks like someone has been living there. Suddenly, she is attacked from behind by a man, but he falls over, very weak. He mutters the words, "Blow up." He looks like the terrorist Klaus Brugner. She checks his pulse, but he's dead. She finds some photos of vegetables and also a video recording of greenhouses on Earth that are growing plants. The recording says that they have been lied to by the establishment from the beginning. She also sees that Decker is with Brugner. Vespucci surprises Laura and tells her that they caught Decker. On the bridge, Vespucci and Prokov are beating Decker to get information for Anna. Decker tells them that Rhea is a simulation. A lie. The people in the tanks are living in a simulation. The Creeper Company is lying to all of humanity. Anna tells them to take Decker away. Decker says that if people knew that parts of Earth are habitable again, the whole system would break down. He tells Laura that he had to kill Bruckner because he cracked up and killed Pierre. But Laura suspects that Anna killed Yoshida. When she pulls her gun out, Anna is already pointing a gun at Laura. Vespucci and Prokop talk to Decker about Rhea. Now they're interested. Anna has Laura tied up, then she tells Laura that Rhea is only a temporary simulation. The Rhea settlement was a failure from the beginning. The changes they made to the planet's ecosystem caused too many problems, but they're confident they will find another planet. Now Vespucci and Prokop walk in with their guns pointed at Anna, asking if she knew they were going to Rhea. We see Anna being put in the cryosleep. Laura is caring for the young girl who has been in the simulation. Decker is telling Laura that he can understand why she might not trust him, but the two of them can still finish this mission. She says she will help him if he can help her get her sister out of the simulation. Vespucci and Prokop have decided that they want to live in the Rhea simulation. We see the Cassandra approaching Station 42 in orbit around the planet RH-278. Decker is telling Laura that nature is reclaiming the Earth and things are growing again. Laura wants to take her sister back to Earth. Once the Cassandra has docked, the unloading is delayed by 30 minutes. Decker and Laura prepare to leave the ship to find her sister and also transmit a message from Rhea to Earth, exposing the lies that Rhea is only a simulation and not real. Then they will destroy the antennas so no further messages can be sent or received by Rhea. The young girl suddenly enters from behind them. Decker tells Laura they only have 27 minutes left. She quickly takes the young girl and gets her settled down. We see Vespucci and Prokop trying to enter the simulation container. Decker is already flying to the antennas to set up the charges. Laura runs back and prepares to follow him. Prokop has changed the unloading timer to 10 minutes. Laura leaves the ship even though her fuel cell is malfunctioning. Decker finds Laura's sister's compartment. Laura sees Decker and flies towards him. It looks like Anna might be waking from her cryo sleep. Now, Decker tells Laura that it's impossible to get her sister out. She wants to see her sister and also send the message to Earth about the Rhea simulation, so Decker agrees. They look around and see the Cassandra's containers being unloaded. Once Laura is connected to the interface, she enters the simulation. Suddenly, she is in the countryside and everything seems so real. While she is in the simulation, Decker removes her faulty fuel cell and replaces it with his own. Now, Laura can see her sister's house. Ariane sees Laura and they embrace. They're both so happy, but Laura knows it's only a simulation. Laura says she'll be straight back and she turns and runs away. The truth is just too painful. She stops near a large tree, then uses the communication device to send a message to Earth. She tells them that Rhea is not a paradise, it's a simulation, and she can provide the proof. Everyone has been betrayed. She tells them that Earth is habitable again. When Laura leaves the simulation, Decker tells her she will have to go back on her own, but she doesn't want to leave without him. He tells her he has given her his fuel cell because they both can't return with one fuel cell. Suddenly, the Cassandra's engines start up and the blast sends them both spinning away from the station. He tells her to go, then lets her hand go as he tells her that he loves her. Then he drifts away towards the planet. As Cassandra moves away from the station, Laura uses her jetpack and only just reaches the ship in time. Moments later, the charges explode, destroying the antennas on Station 42. Rhea. Laura finds that the girl is not in the room where she left her. As she goes to look for her, she is attacked by Anna. Laura manages to trap Anna in an exit compartment where she is released into space. Finally, Laura finds the young girl in the squad room eating. Now, they will be together for the return trip back to Earth. As they are traveling, Laura's message is received on Earth, telling everyone about the truth of Rhea. Like and subscribe to watch more videos like this. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. That really helps my channel. Thanks for watching.